You know, in the past, there's been people that I knew close to me, they said that I'm delusional, that my vision is BS, the things that I'm doing is nonsense. And a lot of the times, you will be called those names. You will be called delusional. And that's just the way people are going to perceive you, you know, from the outside world, you know. But internally, you know this is the right thing to do. You know this is your vision. You know there is more to it and more things are on the way to from the physical reality. But mentally, because you're sure of yourself, because you already know it's there, you keep going, you know. And for people, it's like crazy, you know. Like when you, let's just say, for example, you start going to the gym, you start being consistent, maybe for first 6 months, 12 months, the results aren't going to be massive. But after 2 years, after 4 years, you're going to be like, wow, man, like I completely changed myself and I'm just a different person, you know. And this is pretty much applies to everything, you know, like your goals, like with YouTube, if you're a creator, if you know, even go to school, like maybe you keep failing a certain test and people are like, you know, maybe this major maybe isn't for you, you know, you got to drop out or you got to, you know, just do something else, or, you know, school isn't for you, you're too dumb for it. But you know, like this major is for you, you know, like you love it. Even if you fail a couple of tests, you know you can, like, eventually you're gonna do it, you know. And a lot of people are gonna call you delusional because the things that you're seeing in your mind, it's only for you. It's very common from the people that I've noticed that I really admire, that they've been called delusional, they've been called crazy because of the things they've done, the way their life was, and the way they were trying to come up. And it's just part of the journey, you know. And people are gonna call you delusional. And being delusional is the first part of actually growing as a person, whether it's in fitness, whether it's your, you know, growing your brand, your business, career, honestly, anything. If you have like really high level goals, people are going to call you delusional because that's not the norm, because that's just not really compatible with their mind and their paradigm, right? Because again, just because you don't have big goals doesn't mean it's bad or it's good, you know. Like it's just, it is what it is, you know. People have different desires, different ambitions, and it's just part of life, you know. That's why we create different things. That's why we have different stories to tell. That's why we have different journeys, you know what I mean? So you cannot just like say it's a bad thing, you know, but like everybody has their own things. So the main thing is that people operate from a different mental paradigm than you, right? The reason people call you delusional is because the things that you see, they can't see, right? And again, it's not a bad thing because this vision is made for you, you know? And people operate in different frequencies, right? I don't know if you heard this quote, but the quote pretty much goes like, there is one world or one earth and 8 billion realities or 8 billion worlds, right? Meaning everybody on our planet lives in a certain different world, right? Because that's the world they're operating, because of their mindset, because of their frequency, right? Because that's the reality they're living in. So because you're operating in a certain level of frequency, people are not going to resonate with what you say, right? But on the other hand, when you're operating in a certain frequency, people within that frequency are going to notice you, right? They're going to see that, wow, this guy, like, I resonate with him, you know, like, he really talks about good stuff. Or, you know, I like the way he stays consistent, you know, like a lot of things, people just notice you. And when they're aligned with your state of consciousness and your state of being, just, it happens, like, you guys be friends, you know, like, you guys understand each other, you guys understand each other's goals. And for that person, or for some people that you know that mentally you align with them, you're not delusional, right? Why? Because they operate in that frequency, right? They may not necessarily understand your vision completely, but they know what you're talking about because they're within that realm of, you know, your frequency, right? So they can see what you're talking about to an extent, right? And for some people, it's understandable. They're like, yeah, this is totally realistic, right? Because their paradigm is different, and you're not going to be called delusional or crazy, right? Because they're operating in that state of consciousness. And for them, it's like, yeah, bro, you can do this, man. They motivate you. They push you to do better, you know? And for some people, you're going to be like, oh, this guy's delusional. This guy's an idiot. Like, what is he doing, right? It's because your consciousness is not matching, right? Your consciousness is not matching, and people are just going to say you're delusional, right? The main thing is that people have different paradigms, their brain operates differently, and they receive information and your ideas differently. So if you happen to share your dreams, which I don't necessarily recommend you to share it with everybody, but if you do, you're going to see a lot of backlash with certain people or people that don't necessarily align with your state of consciousness. And they're just going to say, bro, you're delusional. What the fuck are you talking about, right? But some people may not necessarily know everything that what you're talking about, but they kind of grasp the idea. So they say, bro, you got this. They push you to do better, you know? And that's fine. But those who say you're delusional and those type of things, it's just okay because they just mentally, they don't match you, right? And again, don't see it from your ego. I'm saying more of as this like non-judgmental perspective, right? It's just, you know, a desire. It's just an ambition, right? And if people don't agree with it or they think you're being delusional, it's okay because this is your vision. This is the video game that you're deciding to play. This is the character that you're building. You know, it's for you. This character is for you that you're building, right? And you're not building it for anybody else. And if people say you're delusional, so be it, right? And in order to grow as a person, there's going to be many phases in your life that you're going to be called delusional, and it's just part of the game, right? And people have different mental models, they have different paradigms, so expect that to happen. It's just part of it, you know? And the reason you have a vision, because it's you know, it's your idea of your desired reality, and again, it's for you. It's the plants, the seeds, it's yours to water. So you need to understand that, and you need to grasp the concept of, okay, just because I have these ideas and I have these dreams and I have this vision, doesn't mean I have to share it with everybody. And, you know, it's yours. Protect it, water it. And, you know, you don't have to depend on anybody necessarily believing on you. Sure, it's nice, but if you can internally stay strong, if you can internally be unfazed with what people say, you know, or negatively try to impact you, or they try to call you delusional, again, don't even take it to heart. Maybe if it's constructive criticism, maybe you see like, okay, yeah, this person is actually making good points, right? But if it's just purely like a negative, heavy energy, like a just hate or lack of understanding of what you're actually doing, it's okay. Just be strong enough, like deal with it, and you don't be affected. Don't even engage in it. Just be, you know, unfazed. Just be stoic, just like Marcus Aurelius would say, you know? And you got to be okay with people calling you delusional because it's part of the game. And my suggestion is that your vision is made for you. You are operating in a certain frequency and nobody can see it. You can only see it, and there's going to be people on the journey that are going to be resonating with your frequency, your state of being, and they're going to push you to be better. They're going to, you know, encourage you, motivate you. They're going to give you new ideas, and they're going to be mentally aligned. So if you happen to find those people, you know, be close with them, start, you know, learning things from them, ask them questions, and they can do the same thing with you, right? But do not be affected with those who try to, you know, bring you down. And if you happen to be called delusional, it's okay. It's part of the process. Don't be affected by it. Don't take it to your heart, and just keep moving forward. And listen, part of the reason that I'm always talking about this, that you got to be mentally strong and not be affected, is that if you bend and, you know, bend your will and, you know, start conforming, you're not going to be able to hit your actual goals that you really want, you know? And to be fulfilled, you need to be mentally strong to hit your actual goals. It's kind of like when I started YouTube or going to the gym, everyone was like, oh, it's like pointless, or it's not going to do anything, it's just a waste of time. People are going to call you delusional, and it's okay. It's your vision, and you got to protect it. You got to stay strong, because when that desired reality of yours comes to fruition, everybody's going to cheer you on. And, you know, even though it's not ideal to, you know, get those comments on your journey, but it's part of it, man. Like, you got to thug it out, you got to be strong, and, you know, just got to, you know, elevate as a person. And that's it, man. Like, it's okay. You're going to be called delusional. And most of the times when you're being called delusional, you're on the right path. And if you're like a person of like really hard work and dedication, you have positive mindset, you can do anything you want. And the beauty of this is that you know it's going to happen, and it's already happened. You're just, you know, aligning your current self to that version of you that you want to become, you know? So this was my message. This was what I wanted to really share about, you know, it's okay to be called delusional. It's part of the game. Don't be affected by it. Maintain your mental state and just keep pushing forward. And listen, if you're into fitness, if you really want to build a nice physique, you want to build a nice frame for your body, and if you're a guy that wants to get jacked and build a lot of muscle, DM me Start on Instagram, and I can help you with that, because, you know, that's my bread and butter. And listen, it was a pleasure to, you know, have you watching here. I hope you enjoyed it, and take care.